And a new twist in a high-profile lawsuit accuses rapper Jay Z of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 alongside Sean Diddy Combs. The lawsuit, originally filed in October, was refiled today to include Jay Z as a defendant. The anonymous accuser claims the assault occurred at an MTV Video.
The alleged assault took place at an MTV Video Music Awards after-party. Jay Z has denied the accusations, calling them heinous in a statement posted on Rossi Nation's Instagram. He also urged that a criminal complaint be filed rather than a civil lawsuit and criticized the attorney behind the case, Tony Busby, accusing him of using the situation for personal gain. The lawsuit claims that both Jay Z and Diddy were involved in the assault of the minor and that they allegedly threatened her life if she ever spoke out about it. As the details continue to unfold, the situation becomes more complicated. A new lawsuit has just been filed against Jay Z for allegedly raping a 13-year-old minor along with Sean Diddy Combs back in 2000 at an after-party following the MTV Video Music Awards in New York City. This allegation has been corroborated by Jay Z's own bodyguard and one of his background dancers. And a new twist in a high-profile lawsuit accuses rapper Jay Z of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 alongside Sean Diddy Combs. The lawsuit, originally filed in October, was refiled today to include Jay Z as a defendant, the anonymous accuser claims. As this case unfolds, it's clear that Jay Z has long been associated with Diddy, and this lawsuit may just be the first of many to come as more victims continue to step forward. At the moment, Jay Z seems determined to silence anyone challenging him, having already filed multiple lawsuits against both the lawyer pursuing the case and the victims involved. There's also been online speculation about Jay Z's real name, which is Sean Carter, and his rise in the New York rap scene alongside Sean Diddy Combs. Recently, Texas attorney Tony Busby made it official by filing an amended complaint in the ongoing legal battle. Complaint on behalf of a Jane Doe who says that she was raped by Combs and Carter when she was just 13 years old, that this happened at a VM's after-party back in 2000. Now, the original complaint mentioned Celebrity A and Celebrity B, a man and woman, as being present for and even Celebrity A participating in the alleged assault. Well, now Celebrity A has been identified as Jay Z, who has adamantly denied anything like that ever happening. He is very, very clear on that. In fact, he has accused Tony Busby of extortion, saying, Jay Z has accused Tony Busby of trying to extort celebrities by demanding large sums of money in exchange for not naming them in civil lawsuits over what Jay Z believes are false allegations. He claims that these actions amount to blackmail. In fact, Jay Z is believed to be the John Doe who recently filed an anonymous lawsuit against Busby, accusing him of extortion and intentional infliction of emotional distress. The details of the case are disturbing. The lawsuit alleges that Jay Z and Diddy took turns assaulting the 13-year-old, while other celebrities reportedly stood by and laughed at her. The lawsuit alleges that a 13-year-old girl was assaulted at an after-party following the 2000 Video Music Awards. According to the accuser, while other celebrities were present at the party, they did nothing to intervene as Diddy and Jay Z took turns assaulting her. The complaint suggests that Diddy has been allowed to behave this way for years without facing any consequences, believing he is above the law. His close friend Sean Jay Z Carter is accused of being present during many of these incidents. The lawsuit calls for both perpetrators to be held accountable so that justice can be served. The allegations in the lawsuit closely align with accounts shared by other victims, suggesting a disturbing pattern of abuse. According to the claims, Diddy and Jay Z would reportedly give drug drinks to minors and then assault them once they lost consciousness. There are also reports that on several occasions, Diddy and Jay Z would ask their security guards to restrain the minors while the assaults took place. The complaint begins by naming Sean Diddy Combs and his longtime friend and collaborator, Sean Jay Z Carter, accusing them of drugging and raping the victim. The lawsuit suggests that Sean Jay Z Carter was not only present during the alleged assault, but may have been involved in other incidents as well. This raises the question, could he be facing additional lawsuits if these allegations are proven true? The complaint further states that Diddy and Jay Z were not just occasional collaborators in the music industry, but had a close friendship that has been well documented since the late 1990s. Over the years, they attended numerous music events together, further solidifying their long-standing relationship. Diddy and Jay Z have shared a deep bond, attending industry events, supporting each other's business ventures, and partying together at countless after-parties. Their close relationship is evident, with Diddy even stating in 2023 that Jay Z is the only person, aside from his mother, who is allowed to call him by his legal first name, Sean. In 2000, at the height of their fame, power, and influence, Diddy and Jay Z were at the MTV Video Music Awards in New York City. After the event, Diddy hosted an after-party that drew many of the biggest names in the music and entertainment industries. The events described in the complaint revolve around a contentious legal situation that involves high-profile figures from the music and entertainment industry, namely Diddy Sean Combs and Jay Z Sean Carter. The complaint, filed by the plaintiff's legal team, claims a series of disturbing events that took place at an after-party hosted by Diddy. According to the allegations, both Diddy and Jay Z were present at the party, and these events seem to have been the catalyst for the legal disputes that followed. The case has sparked widespread attention, partly due to the high-profile nature of the individuals involved. However, what makes this case particularly contentious is the involvement of Jay Z, whose actions, according to the plaintiff's legal team, went beyond simple denial and into a realm of alleged harassment and intimidation. The initial filing of the lawsuit identified Jay Z only as celebrity and keeping his identity hidden in the early stages of the proceedings. This was likely done to avoid drawing unnecessary media attention before the legal strategy could be fully mapped out. However, as the case progressed, Jay Z's involvement became a key point of focus. His name was revealed, and the complaint was amended to include more detailed allegations regarding his actions and behavior. The main thrust of the allegations centers around an accusation that Jay Z orchestrated a campaign of harassment and intimidation against the plaintiff's legal team, as well as their families, employees, and former associates. The aim of this campaign, according to the complaint, was clear. Jay Z allegedly sought to silence the plaintiff and prevent her from naming him publicly as a defendant in the case. This claim suggests that Jay Z was not merely a passive figure in this matter, but was actively trying to control the narrative and influence the course of the lawsuit. The legal team representing the plaintiff reportedly sent a letter to Jay Z prior to the filing of the amended complaint. In the letter, they offered the possibility of mediation as a way to resolve the dispute outside of the courts. Mediation is often seen as a less adversarial process aimed at reaching a mutually agreeable solution without the need for a protracted legal battle. This suggests that the plaintiff's legal team was attempting to resolve the matter in a way that might have spared everyone the embarrassment and strain of a public lawsuit. However, Jay Z's response to this offer of mediation, according to the allegations in the complaint, was to escalate the situation further by filing what has been described as a frivolous lawsuit. In doing so, Jay Z allegedly also initiated the campaign of harassment, which is said to have included bullying and intimidation aimed at discrediting the plaintiff's legal team. In response to the allegations, Jay Z issued a statement via his company, Roc Nation's official Instagram page. In the post, he vehemently denied the claims made against him, categorically asserting that the lawsuit was filled with falsehoods. Jay Z's denial included the claim that he was being blackmailed and had no connection to Diddy or any of the crimes alleged in the lawsuit. This denial is important because it provides Jay Z's perspective on the situation, though it also raises questions given the larger context. The complaint further suggests that Jay Z's actions were not confined to the courtroom. It implies that the alleged harassment extended to personal and professional spheres, involving attempts to intimidate individuals connected to the plaintiff's legal team. These individuals, according to the legal filing, were subjected to pressure and threats in an effort to dissuade them from supporting the plaintiff's case or continuing their work on the lawsuit. The campaign was reportedly designed not just to hinder the lawsuit itself, but to frighten and dissuade the plaintiff from pursuing the case. Despite these attempts to silence her, the plaintiff ultimately chose to move forward with the amended complaint, doubling down on her commitment to seek justice and address the alleged misconduct that she claims took place. One key point that has drawn attention in Jay Z's defense is his long-standing friendship with Diddy. The two have been close for years, and Jay Z has openly referred to Diddy as his best friend. This relationship raises the question of why Jay Z would now be denying any connection to the events that allegedly transpired at Diddy's after-party. Jay Z's presence at many of Diddy's parties, coupled with his silence on the specifics of the accusations, only serves to deepen the intrigue surrounding this case. It is also worth noting that despite Jay Z's strong denial, he has refrained from addressing the victim or the specific allegations leveled against him. This omission has led some to question the sincerity of his defense, as many observers feel that addressing the victim and the severity of the allegations directly would have been a more appropriate and responsible course of action. In many ways, the events surrounding this lawsuit echo larger concerns within the entertainment industry about power, influence, and accountability. The entertainment industry, with its vast wealth and resources, is known for fostering environments where powerful individuals are able to exert influence over others. In some cases, this power dynamic has led to situations where individuals feel silenced or intimidated by those in positions of authority. The plaintiff's decision to move forward with the case, despite the alleged campaign of harassment, is a testament to her resolve and determination to seek justice, even in the face of significant pressure. This case, which initially seemed like a routine legal dispute, has now become a symbol of the ongoing struggle between powerful figures in the entertainment industry and those who seek to hold them accountable. The question of whether Jay Z's actions were a legitimate attempt to defend his reputation or whether they constitute an abusive misuse of power will likely be one of the central issues that the courts will have to address in the coming months. In the meantime, the case continues to unfold, with both sides presenting competing narratives that highlight the complexity of the situation and the stakes involved. As the legal process moves forward, it remains to be seen how this case will ultimately be resolved. Will the plaintiff succeed in proving her claims against Jay Z, or will Jay Z's defense prevail and the allegations against him be dismissed? The outcome of this case could have far-reaching implications, not just for those directly involved, but for the broader conversation about accountability, power, and harassment in the entertainment industry. So, for now, the public and the legal world alike will be watching closely as this case continues to develop. As the legal battle continues to unfold, Jay Z's approach to the allegations against him has become increasingly combative, revealing much about his strategy and how he intends to navigate the serious accusations leveled against him. This case, which began with a rape lawsuit filed against Diddy, has now involved Jay Z after a woman who claims to have been assaulted in 2000 at a VMA afterparty amended her lawsuit to name the hip-hop mogul as one of the alleged perpetrators. The plaintiff's decision to include Jay Z in her accusations has sparked a firestorm of legal and public scrutiny, and Jay Z's response has been anything but passive. The original lawsuit, filed in October, claims that the woman, who was just 13 years old at the time, was sexually assaulted at a VMA afterparty. According to her version of events, she was given a drink that made her feel woozy and disoriented, which later contributed to her being sexually assaulted by Diddy and a male celebrity, along with a female celebrity. While the woman had initially kept the identity of the male celebrity anonymous, the lawsuit was amended to reveal that Jay Z was allegedly the individual involved in the assault. This shift in the case has brought Jay Z into the spotlight as a defendant in a serious criminal lawsuit, which has added significant weight to the legal battle and intensified public interest. From the moment Jay Z's name was introduced into the case, his legal team. In his public statement, Jay Z said, "My lawyer received a blackmail attempt from a lawyer named Tony Busby. It made me want to expose you, Tony Busby, for the fraud you are and do so publicly. So no, I will not give you one red penny." This bold statement shows that Jay Z is not just defending himself against the rape allegations, but also positioning himself as a victim of a larger conspiracy to defraud him. His aggressive tone aims to cast doubt on the legitimacy of the lawsuit, portraying Busby as someone with dishonest motives who is attempting to exploit Jay Z's celebrity status for personal gain. The team has been on the offensive, taking a proactive stance against both the accuser and her attorney, Tony Busby. In stark contrast to how many public figures might handle similar allegations by remaining silent or issuing carefully worded statements, Jay Z chose to aggressively challenge both the lawsuit and those involved in bringing it forward. The most significant aspect of his response has been his personal attack on Tony Busby, the attorney representing the accuser. Jay Z accused Busby of attempting to blackmail him, stating that his lawyer had received an attempt at extortion from Busby. This, according to Jay Z, was a tactic designed to force him into a settlement or silence him through financial pressure. This response marks a stark departure from other public figures who have faced similar accusations and typically choose to remain silent or take a more measured approach in addressing legal matters. By accusing Busby of blackmail, Jay Z seeks to create an atmosphere of suspicion around the lawsuit itself. The accusation of fraud and extortion shifts the focus from the alleged assault to the supposed misdeeds of the accuser's legal representative. In doing so, Jay Z is attempting to diminish the credibility of the entire legal case. This strategy of attacking the attorney rather than directly addressing the specifics of the assault allegations is part of Jay Z's broader plan to discredit those behind the lawsuit and frame the entire matter as a malicious attempt to extort him. The use of such a public and direct accusation also serves as a form of damage control for Jay Z's reputation, ensuring that he retains some level of control over the narrative being formed around the case. Jay Z's handling of the situation is particularly notable when compared to Diddy's more restrained approach. Diddy, who has been involved in numerous lawsuits over the years and has faced multiple allegations of sexual assault and misconduct, tends to respond with silence or brief public statements. In contrast, Jay Z is taking a much more active role in responding to the lawsuit, both legally and publicly. His refusal to settle or make any financial concessions, as well as his willingness to attack Busby in such a public and aggressive manner, shows just how seriously he is taking these allegations. While Diddy's legal team may be working behind the scenes to resolve the case quietly, Jay Z's approach signals a more combative stance, one that prioritizes confronting the legal accusations head-on and discrediting his accuser. However, while Jay Z's aggressive defense may be seen as a way to protect his public image, it also raises some difficult questions. The allegations made by the woman, which involve sexual assault at such a young age, are extremely serious. While Jay Z has consistently denied the claims, his decision to publicly attack the legal team and the accuser adds complexity to the case. The public's perception of Jay Z's actions may become just as important as the legal proceedings themselves, as his counterattacks risk alienating those who might otherwise support his innocence. By focusing on discrediting Busby and accusing him of fraud, Jay Z may be diverting attention from the core issue of the rape allegations, which, despite his denials, remain deeply troubling. The inclusion of Jay Z in the lawsuit has undeniably shifted the focus of the legal proceedings. The initial allegations against Diddy alone were shocking enough, but the involvement of Jay Z, a high-profile celebrity with immense wealth and influence, has brought a new level of intensity to the case. The amended lawsuit now accusing both Diddy and Jay Z of involvement. In response to Jay Z's accusations that he attempted blackmail, Busby has gone on the offensive. He claims that the demands his firm made to Jay Z were entirely standard in the legal profession and aimed solely at seeking a peaceful resolution. Busby has explained that his law firm sent a demand letter on behalf of their client, the woman who alleges that she was sexually assaulted by Jay Z when she was a minor. This letter, Busby insists, was not an attempt to extort or blackmail Jay Z, but rather a straightforward request for mediation, a common practice in civil lawsuits, especially in cases involving serious accusations such as sexual assault. Involvement in the assault suggests that the accuser and her legal team believe they have a strong case despite the high-profile figures they are going after. The central issue in this case is, of course, the truth of the rape allegations. The plaintiff's legal team has worked to build a case around the woman's account of events, including her claim that she was given a drink that made her feel woozy before being assaulted by Diddy and Jay Z. The timing of the lawsuit, coming so many years after the alleged event, and the legal complexities of such a high-profile case will likely make it a long and arduous process. For now, Jay Z's legal response seems to be a strategy focused not just on defense, but on undermining the legitimacy of the lawsuit itself. This legal battle raises larger questions about power dynamics in the entertainment industry, where accusations of sexual assault are often complicated by the fame and influence of the individuals involved. Jay Z's aggressive defense, while legally savvy, could potentially backfire if it leads to further public scrutiny or alienates supporters. As the case moves forward, it remains to be seen how much damage these allegations and Jay Z's response to them will have on his career and public image. In the coming months, both the legal proceedings and the public battle for control of the narrative will continue to unfold. And the outcome of this case could have lasting implications not just for Jay Z and Diddy, but for the entertainment industry at large, as both sides prepare for. The ongoing legal battle between Jay Z and the attorney Tony Busby has become a highly contentious and public dispute, drawing attention not just for the serious nature of the accusations, but also for the increasingly dramatic exchange between the two parties. In particular, Busby, the lawyer representing the woman who has accused Jay Z of sexual assault, has vehemently denied the rapper's claims that he attempted to extort him. Jay Z's accusations of blackmail and fraud have raised the stakes in an already charged legal battle, and Busby's response has been clear. He asserts that these allegations are not only false, but part of a broader strategy to distract from the serious claims made by his client. Busby's firm, according to his public statements, followed due process by having the demand letter vetted and approved by their client. His client's preference, Busby asserts, was to attempt to resolve the matter outside of court through mediation. Mediation, a less adversarial form of dispute resolution, is often favored in cases of this nature as it can provide a less traumatic and more private way to address the serious allegations. Busby insists that the request for mediation was merely a good faith effort to resolve the dispute amicably, which is typical in many legal cases, particularly those involving sensitive matters like sexual assault. However, Jay Z's reaction to the demand letter has been nothing short of explosive. His team has characterized the request for mediation as an attempt at extortion, with Jay Z accusing Busby of trying to use the threat of a lawsuit to manipulate him into a financial settlement. This accusation of blackmail has become a central theme of Jay Z's defense, and he has gone to great lengths in the media to publicly attack Busby's character. Busby, on the other hand, is adamant that Jay Z's assertions are entirely baseless, labeling them as bogus and laughable. He has repeatedly stated that no threats were made and no attempt at extortion was ever initiated by his firm. Instead, Busby frames Jay Z's response as a desperate tactic to shift attention away from the serious allegations being made by his client. The lawyer's public comments underscore the way Jay Z's reaction has potentially backfired, with Busby accusing him of intentionally attempting to deflect from the central issue, the rape allegations made against him. Busby asserts that what is playing out in the media is not an Busby's comments also reflect a deeper frustration with how the case is being handled in the court of public opinion. He emphasizes that the attention on him and his legal team is merely a tactic to sidestep the true nature of the case, which involves allegations of a very serious crime. Busby has made it clear that he and his clients will not be bullied or intimidated by these tactics. His firm is committed to pursuing justice, and they will not allow the media frenzy surrounding Jay Z's counterattacks to drown out the voices of those who are seeking legal recourse. Honest debate over the truth of the allegations, but rather a coordinated campaign to focus public attention on him personally and discredit the lawsuit. According to Busby, Jay Z's efforts to tarnish his reputation and create a media frenzy around him are deliberate attempts to avoid the real issue at hand: the grave claims made by his client regarding Jay Z's involvement in a sexual assault when she was just a minor. One of the most concerning aspects of this battle, according to Busby, is the harassment he and his colleagues have faced in the wake of Jay Z's public attacks. He claims that his family and colleagues have been subjected to harassment and that former clients have been offered money to sue him. Busby describes these actions as illegal and deeply troubling, and he suggests that they are part of a broader campaign to intimidate and silence him. He appears resolute in his commitment to continue pursuing the case and standing by his client despite the apparent efforts to undermine him and his legal team. In his statement, Busby references a famous line from Shakespeare's Hamlet: "The lady doth protest too much," methinks a phrase used to suggest that excessive denial often betrays guilt or a deeper truth. Busby's use of this quote is pointed and calculated. He suggests that Jay Z's exaggerated claims of blackmail and extortion might be a sign of his own discomfort with the accusations. Rather than focusing on the allegations themselves, Jay Z's attacks on Busby's character, Busby argues, are an attempt to divert attention from the gravity of the claims made by his client. The lawyer implies that Jay Z's overreaction is an attempt to cover up the truth and distract the public from the real issue: the serious and disturbing allegations of sexual assault. Busby's firm, according to his public statements, followed due process by having the demand letter vetted and approved by their client. His client's preference, Busby asserts, was to attempt to resolve the matter outside of court through mediation. Mediation, a less adversarial form of dispute resolution, is often favored in cases of this nature as it can provide a less traumatic and more private way to address the serious allegations. Busby insists that the request for mediation was merely a good faith effort to resolve the dispute amicably, which is typical in many legal cases, particularly those involving sensitive matters like sexual assault. 50 Cent has spoken out about Jay Z's response to the lawsuit, suggesting that Jay Z is worried that everything he says is being closely scrutinized by his legal team. According to 50 Cent, Jay Z knows he could accidentally reveal something important. 50 Cent even shared a video on his Instagram showing Jay Z being taken to jail with the caption, "I want to post this, but I'm afraid I'm going to get shot." The video appears to reference the serious allegations involving Jay Z, Diddy, and the 13-year-old girl, highlighting the gravity of the situation. Statement, you were saying you felt like that the statement is something from, you can tell it was written by a lawyer, because there's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. He says you're going to find out like how I'll handle this, and that's an attorney wouldn't be combative with another attorney. That's not like your publicist wouldn't say those things. This is on your it says I don't know what's going on, but are we still going to have the Super Bowl? I'm just asking for a friend. I'm asking for Kendrick. I'm just trying to figure out if we're still doing everything the way, because look, they will fall back, but they like NFL, they won't necessarily be associated to that, right? Why do you not? Insert yourself, but you're on top of every topic, right?
Yeah.
I'm just watching, I'm participating, I'm being part of culture. I'm just telling you my opinion, right part of the culture. Like I can't say anything now. I'm going to Dre's studio and just sit with Dre long, and then maybe I still out of trouble music. Nay, Diddy and Jay Z are two sides of the same coin. Jay Z's claim that he didn't know what Diddy was doing and that he wasn't involved in Diddy's freak off parties is impossible to believe, especially when you consider that sources close to both Jay Z and Diddy have said multiple times that they were involved. Interestingly, the situation is getting tense and the pressure is building. The suggestion is that when the authorities have the evidence, they'll push the witnesses to testify against Diddy, and they won't be speaking in his favor. With so many cameras everywhere, it's like someone got caught doing something they shouldn't have. The reality is that powerful people don't get to the top without having a few secrets or leverage on others. Diddy's animosity toward Jay Z was well known. He disliked him enough to try and have Ja Rule go after Jay Z. There are reports suggesting that Jay Z is being sued right now because Diddy allegedly turned on him. Diddy has always been the type of person who wants to expose others no matter what they're doing. He did it to Ja Rule to go after Jay Z, and now the speculation is that both Diddy and Jay Z are trying to stay out of the spotlight, hoping they're not caught on tape doing anything wrong. However, the pressure is mounting, and people are wondering if federal authorities might have evidence that could change everything. We will not be bullied or intimidated, Busby declares, reiterating his firm's unwavering resolve to stand by their client and pursue the case in court, regardless of the public pressure. Interestingly, the case has also drawn commentary from others in the entertainment world. Notably, rapper 50 Cent has weighed in on the situation, adding an extra layer of drama to an already high-profile legal battle. 50 Cent, who has often been outspoken on matters relating to Jay Z, appears to be taking an interest in the developments. His involvement only heightens the sense that this case has escalated into a full-blown media spectacle. With celebrity figures like 50 Cent adding their voices to the matter, the case is receiving even more attention, complicating the narrative further and making it harder to separate the legal facts from the media frenzy. As the legal battle continues to develop, it is clear that both sides are entrenched in a war of words, with Jay Z and Busby accusing each other of dishonesty, intimidation, and deflection. The accusations from both sides are serious, and the stakes are high, particularly given the nature of the allegations against Jay Z. However, what remains most striking in this case is the way in which both Jay Z's defense and Busby's responses have been framed in terms of a larger battle for control of the narrative. While Busby maintains that the demand letter was a routine legal step aimed at resolution, Jay Z's team has sought to paint it as a malicious attempt at extortion. This back-and-forth exchange underscores the broader issue of how allegations of sexual assault are handled in the public sphere. The case is becoming less about the actual events and more about media portrayals and character attacks. In the end, the focus will ultimately return to the central issue: the accusations made by the woman who alleges that she was sexually assaulted as a minor. As both sides prepare for what will likely be a long and arduous legal fight, the public's perception of the case will continue to evolve, with both sides attempting to position themselves as the true victims in a highly charged legal drama. Another incident, an individual 15 years old at the time, flown to New York City to attend a party, was drugged and then taken into a private room, allegedly in the presence of Mr. Combs, where this female individual minor was raped, and then other individuals took turns raping her. Another individual, 26 at the time of the occurrence, was picked up allegedly by Mr. Combs and several other people in a black SUV from the airport, was given one drink in the SUV and then literally woke up the next. Because JC came out so strongly and said, "Listen, I'm going to go after you," and then he filed a suit quickly on the heels of the other suit against Busby and the accusers. So because of that, you're seeing this taunting sort of back and forth in the media. Do you believe that we may see Jay Z face a judge? And if so, when would we see him in Cora? Any indication? Another woman being there, they discuss about a driver taking her, so she's locked into this story now, and that means there could be additional witnesses to corroborate her story or refute the story. Yeah, I know you've mentioned the specificity of the details really stand out to you in this filing, Do you find it strange that the filing originally did not include Jay Z, just did he, and now Jay Z is suddenly added today? I mean, does that make Jay Z's addition in any way less credible, or is this not in fact so? It's not unusual when they're still digging up information and facts to prove the allegations that they're trying to make. In addition, remember, this 13-year-old says there's a female there that has not been disclosed either that will be very interesting because she could be culpable in this as well. Yeah, that is interesting. The allegations against Jay Z and Diddy paint a deeply disturbing picture of the Hollywood elite and their alleged abuses of power, with the details of the lawsuit against them surfacing and more victims reportedly preparing to come forward. This case could mark the beginning of a massive reckoning in the industry. The question remains, will justice be served, or will these powerful figures continue to escape accountability?